Okay, so I'm live. Hello, this is Martina Wing, live from Hawaii with the Manta Ray Advocates. And sometimes the beginning is just a little bit confusing to me what the screen shows me. So anyway, here it is. My Manta Ray is flying through the picture. It is a few minutes after 11 o'clock and I'm sorry I'm a little late, but technical snafus. So that's always something challenging here in the Wednesday mornings. But I want to welcome you. Thanks for being with me on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. This is when I go live and talk about manta rays and things that happen at the Manta experience and look behind the scenes with what's going on here in the industry. And for all the folks that haven't been here with me, this is where we live. That is, Denmark is here. Sofia, thank you so much for being here. So my main name is Martina. I dive and film and love the manta rays for 20 years. I live on this island here. Kona is here too. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I live on the big island of Hawaii. I live actually in Kailua, Kona. And there are 2 dive locations here on the coastline. And that's where you can go diving with the manta rays. Or you can go snorkeling as well. Frank, happy Moray Day. Yes, that's right. Just wait. There's going to be some juicy stuff coming up here. And so manta rays are big fish. These kind of fish. And I talk about them every week. It's my true love and my passion. And I usually get really excited when I start talking about them. So, but today I'm not talking about the actual manta rays. I talk about a frequent visitor we have at the dive site. And I'm really glad Frank is here. Frank Netherwood from California, a big supporter of my work. Because we are talking about Frank the eel. But I have to disappoint Frank Netherwood. It's actually named after Frank Hendricks, one of the who used to be a general manager at one of the dive stores here in town. And I want to shout out to Frank Hendricks. I'm going to hop and visit him next week. He hasn't had a very good year last year, health-wise. So I hope to catch up with him here really soon. Julia is here too. I love it. Thanks for being here, guys. This is great. So we have New Zealand, California, Denmark, and Germany already. So love this. Thank you. So we're talking about a moray eel today, and a particular moray eel we call Frank. It's an undulated moray eel. I have some footage prepared for you. Carrie's here too. Love it. It's Washington State. And when I talk about Frank, the eel, there is some juicy stuff right here with the footage. I don't want to scare you, but I do want to tell you that can happen. What else? Yeah, there are different eels here and when you go underwater, there are many different eels. But before I talk about all this stuff, I'm going to switch the camera around. I'm going to tell you with visuals the story from today about Frank, the undulated moray eel. So let me just switch around. I'm going to have to find the button. Here we go. Okay. So we're talking about Frank, the undulated moray eel. You know, we don't really know if it's a he or a she. It doesn't really matter, but we see this moray eel since about 2000 on a regular basis. He's about 1.5 feet. Actually, it should be meters. That's meters. That's wrong. I'm going to change that later on. That's the length of him. We discovered this particular dive site in 1999, and so since 2000 we really see him regularly. And this is a moray eel with teeth, and I will show you a few minutes also moray eels that don't have teeth, so not all of them are the same. Consistent sighting, what I mean by that? Well, first of all, I have to tell you, I don't think it's always the same Frank, but it's so much easier if you call the undulated moray eels Frank. I say that because I don't know if it's the same guy from all these years, but if you have 2 Franks at the dive site, then of course you're kind of a little confused who is who. And Gitta Steiniger is here. Guess what? That's my mom. So this is awesome. Thanks for being here, Mom. Yeah, hi, Omi, Julia. That's funny. So about Frank, consistent sightings means he pretty much shows up every single night and has a good reason. He has a good reason to show up every night. And definitely he's one of Kona's favorites. But we talk about the manta rays and the favorites. It's Big Bertha, Conger Ray, and Yana Ray. And all these manta rays we see on a regular basis. And Frank is one of the favorites to be seen at the dive site. And every diver will be actually briefed on that we see him. So he's just a regular, definitely around. So, and what's the next picture? Yeah, I wanted to give you a selection of moray eels here of Hawaii. It's not the complete, but give you an idea how many different ones are here in these waters. There's the tiger moray. He's one, he doesn't really have teeth. He would grind his on his prey or what he eats. So there's more of a grinding teeth, not sharp teeth. Then we have a dwarf moray. Oh, he's so cute. He's like your little pinky finger, as big as your pinky finger. Super cute. Then we have garden eels. That's called an eel, but you know, garden eels are really, you see it's like an asparagus field. There's lots and lots of them coming out of the sand, and we see them in usually in 100 to 120 feet. But where we dive with the manta rays, it's a plankton-rich environment. They're already at 60 feet, which would be 20 meters for my European fans today. So these are garden eels. Another kind is a snowflake eel, super cute. Also has only grinding teeth, no real sharp teeth. And the next one is a conger eel. Yeah, this is a selection from Jim's pictures. He's just such an awesome photographer. And I dove into his archive this morning for that. Conger eel, and then we have... Now these kinds are... Now we come to the 3 eels or 4 that have more of teeth. And I always recommend not to mess around with eels. Definitely. Especially, I mean, I had an accident many years ago where a Yellowmargin, this kind of eel, got my hand and bit me quite a bit. But it was pretty much stupid on my side because I had octopus smell on my hands. You know, you don't play with an octopus and then later on you play around close to an eel. So Yellowmargins do have teeth, but it all worked out for me. But here's the one with the teeth. The next one has teeth, obviously. It's the Whitemouth Moray Eel. Big, super cute. I mean this cute as in sense of like beautiful, this white mouth on the inside. We only see this guy during the day. I've seen him maybe once during the night. I think they sleep at night. And that's, yeah, you don't want to mess with this guy. He does have quite the big teeth right here. And I've seen it actually. Yeah, Tara is here too, from Mexico. Yeah, the reception is not so good, I know. But you're here now, that is great. So with the Viper Moray, I've seen him once, but not at the dive site we went. We usually go to see the manta rays and dive with them by the airport. So this is a special one, Viper Morays. And then we're going back to the undulated Moray Eel. This is Frank. And yes, he has teeth too. He has some teeth on the top. And I have some footage where you can see when he uses his teeth, but not on people. It's on a fish. Alrighty. So this was the selection I wanted to show you about the different eels we have here along. It's a selection, not all of them. And then when we dive into this footage now, I do want to make sure that you know all of it. We have not heard of any customer ever being bitten by Frank. Okay, so there has not been an incident with Frank involved and a customer. Well, I'm going to put a little PS here. We had 2 dive masters that did get bit by Frank. But you know, they were a little not so smart at that point because they put their hand to the light box where you will see in a few minutes where Frank likes to hang out. And Frank was sitting in the light box, and the dive master should have known that Frank could be in the area. So, but this is definitely a true and honest claim here. We have never heard of any customer ever being bitten by Frank. And this Facebook Live is not about scaring people. It is about just educating and look behind the scenes, and it's just stuff. Thank you for all the hearts today. I love these. Everybody's giving me little hearts. Thank you. Okay, so now the question is, why does this eel hang out at the campfire? Campfire method was this method of having all the lights together in one central viewing area. And I want to give you real quick here the idea why we see Frank. Oops, that is too far. Hold on. Let's do this. So what you see here is dive lights. Yeah, and the dive lights concentrate plankton. That's the little stuff right here, and that's why the manta rays come to the side. And besides attracting manta rays, attracting plankton and attracting manta rays, we have just attracted this particular undulated Moray Eel for so many years to the side. And his reason is to hang out by the lights is because there's food. And you will see his food here in just a second. He's just going through the lights. And check this out, there are the fishies. So goatfish hang out there, ahole Hawaiian flagtails hang out there. There's another goatfish, a different kind. So these guys just want the plankton as well. So it's the chain reaction where food is just abundant And the eel learned, let's go to this place where the lights are and let's go and look for some food. So that's just the very simple reason why Frank, or the undulated Moray Eel, hangs out at the campfire. Now, the next footage is that we do have situations, and it happens actually quite frequently, that Frank hangs around the divers. So what you see in this footage, I think it is so cool. You see a scuba diver, you see a tank right here, he's sitting on the bottom enjoying the manta rays. I'm not sure, yeah, he actually knows that there is an eel right around him. And the eel just is on his way to food, and he considers the divers just being an obstacle on his way to food. So you see the diver is holding still. That's the best thing you can do. You just hold still. You're briefed to do that as well. And then he's just going to swim by this guy's hand. I think he gets a little nervous. He's going to put his hand up here in a second. But even that he moves his hand up, Frank is not like, he has really bad eyesight. They don't really see well. He puts his hand down and the eel is just swimming by. So no panic attack, guys. This is just normal footage that we see on a regular basis out here, where the eel just looks around and is on his way to food. And this is my fin, actually, what you see right here. So I'm really close and just putting my lights on it so I can get this footage. So yeah, this is how Frank and divers, thank you, Connie. I like this footage too. So it's just, people are always so afraid of eels. Of course, they have teeth, and some have, some don't. I just told you some of these in a selection of moray eels. But moray eels don't really come to you, because if you don't smell like fish, you're just fine. I mean, I smelled like fish with the octopus, but I was the exception. I was pretty dumb too. So Frank is for this reason here. He wants to look for fish. And the footage I'm showing you now is a little bit longer. I think it's a 2-minute clip. But so you see the manta rays are doing their thing. They're feeding on the plankton. And while I was filming, I realized that there actually was Frank the eel. This is the light boxes where all the lights are hanging, concentrating the plankton. And you can see how Frank actually found a fish. And not only found it, he caught the fish. And this is pretty cool, because you can see the behavior an eel, how he tries to eat. So we're gonna get here a little bit more stable with the footage in a second. I hope you're not driving or something like this, because I don't want you to get funny feelings. But so the Frank the eel, in this case, he wants to feed, and he makes himself a knot. I think then you can really see how powerful he is to get this fish into his mouth. This is pretty cool. And he tries really hard to swallow this fish. Really hard. Now, several times he makes this knot and he tries to break the fish's neck and then just swallow it as a whole. That's what they do with all the fish. Now, just in this case, he's trying to swim away too. And by the way, there are people in the background. You see some people's hands here. They're all watching this situation. Frank does realize at some point that this fish is a little bit too big. So he keeps trying to pull him through and push him into his own body. I think that's the 5th or 6th time he's trying. If this fish would be a little smaller, it would be already in his belly. And then Frank is kind of like, he gives up. He's like, I don't know what to do with this guy. Okay, one more time. Yeah, I just want you guys to enjoy this footage. I'm not talking right now on purpose. And the fish actually got away. He's still alive. You see all the people in the background. Frank is like, I give up. I'm looking for something else. So Frank takes off. So he didn't succeed with this fish. But then it was really cool. This fish, he was obviously still alive. People are having these big eyes, you know. And the fish is just laying there. And then a dive master comes in, an instructor, and is actually doing CPR on this guy. Check this out. He's just making him swim again to get water through its gills so he can breathe again. And what happened now? Oh, I forgot this footage off. This fish actually started to swim again. And I'm sorry, I cut this off too early. This fish actually swam again and we revived him, and it was a happy ending on this fish. I can't believe there's that fish that eels hunt with. There's a fish. Yeah, eels during the daytime, if you look at eels during the day, it's the goatfish likes to hang out with, no, the trevally actually. Hold on a second. Yeah, the trevallies hang out with them too. So actually the guy who he just tried to eat hangs out with eels too. But not this undulated Moray Eel. I usually see whitemouth and yellow margins with during the day. Not so much at night. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I just want to let you know this footage ended up in happy ending. This fish survived. He was totally beat up, but he survived, and he is still, oh, I don't know if he's still around, but he survived this attack from Frank. But this is the reason why Frank comes to the dive site, just to eat. Alrighty. Now, just to make it a little bit more juicy today is I have footage where Frank went up to the Snorkelers, and when I brief the people, I never mention that Frank goes to the Snorkelers. This happened only once, well, in all my years in diving with a fish, with the manta rays, but it is such good footage, I had to show it to you guys. So what happens here is the snorkelers are on the surface, they're enjoying the show, they have actually car array right in their face, and barrel rolling underneath them. It's a really cool situation. And then someone sneaks into the picture. Now check it out. So this eel, this Frank, he swam all the way up to through the water column, and it was all the way to 30. It's a 30-foot water column, so 10 meters. And he swims through the snorkelers. I couldn't believe it because I've never seen this before. And the people are just, they don't even see it because they have such limited sight with their masks. And well, unfortunately, I'm blasting them with my lights right now just to get this footage. And it's also super, the eel, they wanted to get these fish here, but he just got a little bit, he's all over the place there. Now here comes a really good scene. I'm just gonna not say anything. This lady thinks I'm filming her, and then realizes there's an eel right in front of her. And the next two ladies, come on guys, give me a few likes for this one. The people don't even see him swimming right through them. Hi Michael, hi Mike Best, that's cool. You're right in the right place here where we have the eel going through the snorkelers. And yeah, Frank on the surface. Again, this happened only once in all these years. And you guys actually seeing now how he swims back down towards the divers. They're on the bottom. I'm swimming through bubbles. It's kind of cool footage. And I just really wanted to share this with you guys. This is cool. Alrighty. Aloha, Mike. This is great. Okay, guys. So I wanted to show you this footage of Frank the eel, and I'm going to switch around at the end of the footage. Hi everybody, I'm back. So this was the footage for today, so I just wanted to show you how Frank the eel is around divers, only once around the snorkelers, and he's really a cool guy. I just want to share with you that this is a frequent visitor that we see pretty much every single night. And Mike Best is here with me. And Mike, you dove with me maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. And I think Mike still remembers Frank the eel too. This eel is just so used to this campfire method where the light box is in the middle and the light box attracts with the lights. Then the plankton attracts small fish. And Frank the eel just learned the behavior and is going out so into this. Yeah, that's right. You remember Frank. So then it's all Judith. Hello, Martina. I love Frank the eel. That's right. Every single diver on the boat, when we do the briefing and we show a picture and say, hey, this is what's going to happen, everybody's like, oh my God. And then they're underwater and it really happens to them. And it's just it's so much exciting and so much adrenaline going through everybody. But in the end, everybody loves Frank. I mean, he's definitely, sometimes on the nights when we don't have manta rays, Frank is there and makes everybody happy. He takes over the show, and it's really, it's fun. It's really fun. So Carrie, what are you saying here? To my cousin Linda watching from San Francisco. That's right. Very cool. San Francisco is here too. I love this. So whoever watches the replay, by the way, always put in where you're watching it from. I just love to connect the world. And we're all manta ray advocates too. As soon as we know about manta rays and we fall in love with them and we want to educate other people about it. We are all manta ray advocates. Okay, so this was my Facebook Live for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be back next week. We have something special planned. I have to get some technology lined up. But Tara and myself, we will be doing an interview next week. It's my anniversary, 20 years in town, swimming with manta rays, educating about them, loving them, and sharing with the world that these manta rays are just something that needs to be protected and to be enjoyed. And this is all for today. So if you like this this Facebook Live, share it, like it, love it. Give me a thumbs up, anything you want. Thanks for being here with me today, and talk to you later.